Hey, you guys. Um, I wanted to go into unhealthy thinking and how it affects us, what it does to us, how it kind of makes, well, it does make everything worse for us. How it actually can trigger anxiety and make that much worse as well. So I want to go into the different patterns of unhealthy thinking. I want to go into every single one, or try to go into as many as I can, and go from there. So first of all, how are you guys doing? I know I went straight into that one, but I do want to start doing that. I think it's going to be more professional for me to do that. So that's what I'm going to start doing instead of lingering around doing like what I'm doing right now. But anyway, okay, so I love you guys. Remember, you're not alone. And here we go. So unhealthy thinking. What is unhealthy thinking? Unhealthy thinking usually is when it comes from when somebody experiences something like depression or anxiety, and what happens is when you're feeling that, or sometimes it can be vice versa. Sometimes you can have the thinking first and then it turns into that, or you can have that and then it turns into the thinking. So either way, unhealthy thinking just makes everything worse for us, makes everything worse for anyone. So we're going to go into those things right now. I will say this. This might end up being a two-parter. If it is a three-parter, I have no idea what this is going to turn into. But I do want to start with this. So here we go. Signs of unhealthy thinking, okay? Like things that you know you shouldn't be doing, or maybe you don't know. You're about to find out. So there's different types of thinking. So I'm going to go into one, the all or nothing thinking, also known as black or white thinking. This thought pattern is grounded in extremes. For instance, one misstep in a diet is grounds for complete abandonment. Now, this is funny because this is something I think all of us have done at one time or another. You'll be sitting there and you'll be on a diet for 2 days, not even. Sometimes it's just the first day. And then you have something bad and you're like, oh, fine, I'll start tomorrow, right? Or I'll start on Monday. It's always a Monday. It's so weird because you want to get past that weekend, right? Well, that's actually not a good thing. And that's just an example of how that thinking, that thought process. So it's just but that's not a good thing. It ends up turning into a very negative thing. Falling short of perfection translate into complete failure in your mind. And common vocabulary includes words such as never, always, forever, instead of more accurate and realistic descriptions. So, in other words, like you're always like, oh, I always mess up. Oh my God, why am I never good enough? Those kind of thoughts, those kind of whenever you're talking to yourself, those self-talk is what that translates into. Like that's the black and white thinking. You don't ever give yourself that leadway. You don't give yourself that like, well, there's always an in between. There's always differences in situations. There's differences in whatever. You could even I had to learn how to do this. So like I'm using the diet thing as an example, but where instead of being like, oh, I'm just going to start tomorrow, or I'm going to start on Monday. You know what? I screwed up, but you know what? I'm getting right back on the horse right now. And that is a big, big difference. So if you have that kind of mentality, it's just like, okay, let's use, I'm going to go ahead and, anxiety, right? Oh, why did I get anxiety today? Or why did I allow this thought to take over? Because we know how anxiety is. Like you get like this thought and then you run with it. Like you go crazy with it. For instance, you have like a pain, or we're going to go with you know what? A very common one for us is, oh my God, I have like this swollen lymph node, right? And then all of a sudden it's cancer. I'm dying. That's it. Your thoughts go crazy, right? It's down a rabbit hole of negative thoughts, negative thinking, right? So like you can't do that to yourself, because that's black and white thinking. Actually, you can't sit there. It's also, actually, I would say that's also a form of like jumping to conclusions, or like whenever you I can't ever say this word. Catastrophizing. There you go. But this is black and white thinking. So instead of like, you have the swollen lymph node, right? And then instead of being like, well, am I having some kind of allergic reaction? Like just not crazy allergic. Don't go there either. But like, is it the weather? Is the pollen in the air? Am I having a light allergy to that? Like environmental stuff? Am I, maybe it is kind of winter season. Maybe I'm starting to catch a little cold or something. Instead of saying those things, it's black and white. Well, it's cancer. So no, that's not what it is. Most of the time, that's just not what it is. Actually, all of the time, let's just say that. That's just not what it is. So that's one form of thinking that you shouldn't engage in. That's all or nothing thinking, black and white thinking. You don't need to be doing that. And take those words out of your vocabulary. The never, the always, because those aren't even realistic words to use in anything in life. I don't know if y'all know about like the different personality types and things like that. And I know that everybody's different. There's 16 personality types. If any of you have taken that test, the Myers-Briggs, I think it's what it's called, test, please tell me in the comments what you are. I am an INTP, so just throwing it out there. But funny thing about this is, I know that everybody's different. My boyfriend, his personality type is complete. He is like based in black and white thinking, which actually hurts him in a lot of ways. It's good in some ways, and then it's bad in other ways. For instance, like right now, with what we're talking about right now, it's not good when it comes to your anxiety and stuff. Now, it is good if you're going to say, well, no, I don't know if I can say that. What I was going to say was, if you say, okay, this is anxiety, right? That's your black and white thinking. Is that, well, okay, I'm having anxiety. Or let's go back to the lymph node, the swollen lymph node. I guess you can't really do black and white with that thought process, with the swollen lymph node. But you can when it comes to, am I dealing with there's no is anything with black and white thinking. You're just so matter of fact with it. It's an all or nothing kind of thing. So I guess I can't say that. I was going to say it might be good if you use it in terms of, this is anxiety, plain and simple, black and white. That's what this is. This is what I'm dealing with at the moment. And honestly, you could do that. I do that a lot. I started doing that when I started learning how to conquer my anxiety. That was one of my first things I had to learn, was basically like, no, this is anxiety, 100% anxiety. When I did that, I actually got past a lot of issues that I was having. Instead of my anxiety and my panic attacks and anxiety attacks and all these things, all the physical symptoms that you get with the anxiety, instead of those things lingering for hours at a time, which was debilitating, it started only 30 minutes. Then it went down to 20 minutes. Then it went down to 15, and then 5. And now it is down to about a minute whenever I do come across those things. So it's really good to think, if you are gonna do black and white, do it in a positive way. There is positive and negative ways of doing everything. So just remember that. Just don't, like I said, take those words out of your vocabulary. The always, the all those things. The matter of fact words, don't ever use them, because in all reality, that's not even true. I'm sorry, I went off base because I started talking about personality types, only because everybody has a different way of perceiving things, right? Or a different way of what their core is, of how they see life, how they see everything in life. And the thing is, though, in all reality, logically speaking, nothing is for sure. Nothing. Not one thing is for sure. I don't even know how. Give me examples. If any of you know anything that's for sure, tell me. I mean, other than the things like, well, for sure you are whatever years old, or it is, 5:17 p.m. right now. But then again, I mean, it is for me, but it's not for somebody on the other side of the world. I mean, so in a way, I don't know. But anyway, so that's one way. That's one form of unhealthy thinking. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is going to end up being in a lot of parts, because I'm probably going to go into each form of thinking and talk about each thing individually. So this is the first one: all or nothing, black and white thinking, unhealthy. Don't do it. And I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to be making more videos like right now. So love you guys. Remember, you're not alone. Bye.